Balls are back.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown being. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a peon, kind of time we on. Don't roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a hold up class. Hit the gab, I talk that gab. Strut like up and I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Get that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Told them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang when they drop in hit. Said on the man, post up, no miss. Over your head, next time, don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this.
Ooh, forgot to move my mic. I'm not sure why, but the mic volume suddenly just took a massive boost. So we're going to lower that real quick, why don't we, before we get things rolling. See, I don't know why it took this massive boost, but
Yeah.
Oh well, you know what I mean? Okay, I lowered it a bit. Hopefully that goes well. Oi, fellow comrades, it is Squidtard here along with your boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Julio Rodriguez. We got the Three Musketeers going for tonight. No special guest rolling tonight. Was not able to get into contact with the people I wanted to get into contact to, but we'll try and get that forwarded to next week. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Vol-Star Podcast. Glad to have you guys in the comment section as always. Goob is in here. If the Titans sign Wilson, they go 0-17. Lucas?
Well, Russell Wilson? Yeah, I guess he's talking about Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be better than Will Levis, but yeah, I don't want Russell Wilson. But, of course, Goob talking about the Titans. Almost like you guys can't beat the Titans on a regular basis. But it's whatever. I mean, like, seriously, how many divisional round games have the Texans ever won? Answer me that. Answer me that.
I don't know. Darth Silver Sith, that's a new name. Maybe y'all should try warming up shirtless again like y'all did against Ohio State. Well, it's a good intimidation tactic if you're not the national champion. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, fellas. So, before we move into our topics for the week, how are my two fellow co-hosts doing? What's going on with you guys this week?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty fine. I mean, what can I say?
I swear, it's like you guys don't. Do you like do anything this week? Like, is there anything going on?
I mean, not really. All I do mostly now is just work and play video games. That's all I do now.
What video game? I feel like we all know, but go ahead and tell us.
I've mostly been playing Fall Guys, Sonic Generations, and then I played Minecraft today with Connor. That's pretty much it.
I'm a little shocked you did not say EA College Football, but I guess we're all a little burnt out on that, aren't we?
Yeah, I have not touched EA College Football in a hot minute. I don't know. I kind of got bored of it, not gonna lie. I mean,
preaching to the choir. All right, well then, Julio, what's going on with you, buddy? What you got going on this week?
Well, nothing much. Well, I went out with some of my other friends this week, but other than that, not really much different.
Well, you
Only
definitely...
thing, well, I was going to say, Lucas, we also played PGA Tour.
Oh, yeah, PGA 2K25, yeah. For a golf game, it is pretty fun, I'll admit. Like, I've never touched a golf game in my life. I cannot believe how much fun it actually is.
The more you know, huh? The more
Yeah.
you
I think the reason the golf games are fun is because it's not always the same course. Like, there's only, so much things you can do. Like, in football, there's only so many plays you can run. But in, like, golf, there's so many things that can happen because all the courses are so different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing something, and you're doing something right, clearly, because for the first time in a very long time, I'm talking with your mic on, Julio, and I'm not hearing instant feedback where it sounds like I'm talking through a 1930s radio. So, gotta give you a
Give him a round
big
of
ol' hand for
applause.
that. Really.
Well, I think I got my headphones fixed. So
Yeah.
So,
So,
clearly.
yep, you're right. No echo. So, Julio, you don't have to like mute like every 5 seconds.
Now, from now on, you don't have to do that unless we hear it again, and I won't
well,
hesitate to let you know.
I don't know. Sometimes with these headphones, you get like the background. So
Well,
there's
pending that,
nobody
yeah.
here. There's nobody here now. There's nobody here but me right now. But sometimes the dogs just randomly bark. I figure people might not want to hear that.
They hear my dog bark all the time, so granted, you should be fine. Anyway, guys, we got a lot to talk about for this week, so let's go ahead and roll into this. First of all, and I haven't mentioned this in a while, but this needs to be said every single show. We're not official over here. We're just big-time Tennessee Volunteers football fans, and whether or not you're a Tennessee fan or just a fan of any other team in particular, we're glad to have you over here. We hope you stick around for the future because we got some great stuff planned for the future. All right. With that all being said, oh, and by the way, $1, one push-up in Super Chats. You get the idea. You guys have been around here for long enough to understand that. All right, well then, let's start with the football talk. We'll start with that and then just move down the line. So we did get some football news over this week. All there really is to talk about is spring practice has officially started initiated, and we've gotten a little bit of an early glimpse into some teams' preparations for the upcoming season. Specifically, David Sanders Jr., of course, everybody's been talking about him. He's a 5-star recruit that's been with the team for a while. He's signed, and he's probably going to get that starting right tackle position. I think we can all agree on that. And
Yeah.
He's going to make an immediate day one impact from the looks of it.
Yeah. Now probably need to start looking on like, try to find some of these insiders for the football team and see how these freshmen are looking in practice. Because if David Sanders is looking like really good in practice, then not gonna lie, I'd actually be kind of excited about our offensive line heading into next season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, if it takes a big jump, then I'll be happy with that because we need it. If we don't get the receivers that we need, if we don't get that receiver talent that we need, then yeah, absolutely the offensive line.
Yeah. I will say though, heading next class, we might be getting some receiver help because I saw Tennessee received a crystal ball for a 5-star receiver on 24/7. It looks like
a crystal ball or a crystal ball
what?
Because we don't want no crystal ball.
Oh yeah, well I don't know if it was like a crystal ball, but I just know that it looks like he's 100% predicted to Tennessee on 24/7.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not a crystal ball, because I don't want my knees to be taken. All right. Well,
We don't want no crystal balls.
Right.
I think it's Tristan Keys, right?
Yeah, Tristan Keys. That's who it is. The 5-star receiver, #1 receiver in the class, I believe.
He's also from Mississippi.
Yeah, he's from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's where Southern Miss is located.
Yeah, Terminator 69's got the right idea. He says, this is the year that it will all come together. 20-something years in the making. This has got to be it.
Well, eventually we got to be right.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if you keep on saying it's your year, you're eventually going to be right.
Mm-hmm.
FazFan07. FazFan07 says he's here because X spaces are down. Dude, X spaces fell off hard, bro. They fell off so hard. They used to be fun, but they're not fun anymore. They fell off.
Yeah, they took your jig, Julio. That's not cool.
Oh well, I hadn't done much in a while since the football season ended.
Yeah, like I said, Julio, they fell off. Spaces fell off.
Ever since Julio stopped doing it, Twitter Spaces just haven't been the same.
Yeah.
They'll make a comeback in football season.
That's true. So, yeah, for those of you who like Twitter Spaces, wait till football season and it'll be back because Julio will be back. All right, then. The only other football news to cover for this week is Tennessee is set to host its annual Pro Day on Tuesday, basically tomorrow, March the 11th, at the Anderson Training Center. This event will feature former Vols showcasing their skills in front of NFL scouts and personnel ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft. So we'll get to see a little bit more about what these players can do. Maybe they can bump up their draft stock just a little bit. They've been talking about James Pierce leaving the first round and going into the second. Well, this could be his time that he jumps right back into that the first round, if he hasn't already, which I assume he has, based on how he did in the combine.
I still think it's so funny that the reason he fell out of apparently the first round wasn't it something that happened in high school, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
He said,
They dropped.
that to a police officer in high school. Like, okay, he said something bad when he's like somewhere between 15 to 17. Like, we all haven't done anything stupid around that age.
Right.
Yeah, they drop. They drop some of these players down in the draft boards for some of the stupidest reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it's the same way with recruiting.
Well, I'll say this, for example, like Laramie Tunsil, I understand why he dropped because of that gas mask incident or whatever during draft night. But if I was a GM, I wouldn't have cared. I would have drafted him anyway. And whenever they would ask me why, I said, "Well, he's talented."
Right.
That's literally just what that would have been the end of the story. It's the same thing with Trey Smith. That's why I would have drafted him.
Right, I hear you there. Darth Silver Sith. Hey, this is a funny comedy, but he says, as a Cowboys fan, F the Cowboys. Dang, even from your own fan base, Julio, you're catching all kinds of strays.
I mean, to be honest, I'm in a love-hate relationship with him too. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. All right, then. Well, that's all the. Go ahead.
It's mostly Jerry Jones.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say much of an opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sell the team. Sell the team. Sell the team.
Matt Dummett's in the chat. Don't call him Doom It, damn it. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you as always. All right, well then let's skip on over. We'll talk about basketball and baseball in just a moment. Let's skip over to softball real quick. Of course, we do have a little bit of news. As we touched on last week, softball was going into the SEC slate for the first time, and a successful series. Won the series versus number 13 Georgia. Now, it was not easy. It was a 1-1 brawl. We won the first game 6-1, and then we lost the second one 3-4. But then we came back in the third one and won 5-2. So, a successful series W for the Tennessee softball team. Coming up on March 11th, this is where things get interesting. Tennessee is set to host number 14 Duke in Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. So, and this is actually the first time these two programs have met, by the way. So, in softball, so that's going to be a good game, I think.
That's surprising considering. I mean, I don't think Durham's too far from Knoxville, is it?
It shouldn't be.
No, it's not. But
I know
different conferences, so
yeah.
I mean, I know, but I'm just surprised they haven't scheduled like an out of conference, and the softball is like a pretty new sport to the NCAA.
Tennessee's actually. Yeah, UT's usually pretty close to basically all the North Carolina schools because, the border is right there.
Right. Knoxville, it's like maybe 2 hours away from the North Carolina border.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so far, the softball team is just basically killing it out there, putting in all that work. We'll be looking forward to seeing what they can do in the future, and maybe we'll get over Oklahoma.
Yeah, and also, I was just gonna say, I remember Georgia fans after they won the second game, how loud they were yapping after winning that second game.
Were they this loud?
Yeah, I would say they were pretty loud. They won that game, and they started talking crap about Tennessee, saying, "Oh, I guess Georgia's in everything school now too." Like, bro, Georgia, you're not us, bro.
Well,
you're not.
Real quick, they forgot that they're a one school sport or a one sport school. One school sport. You get the idea. Yeah. They only got one sport. We'll see you again in 8 months. It's like the song. It's like
Yep.
we're only
You're only relevant in one
sport,
sport.
and we'll
And
see you again in a month.
month.
There you go. Nailed it. All right, then.
What I was gonna say though is that the SEC in softball, kind of like how it is in basketball and what is it, baseball this year, it's stacked because Auburn is only lost like 2 games, and Mississippi State I think's only lost like 2 or 3 games. Texas has only lost 1 game. Of course, Oklahoma's undefeated. And then I think South Carolina, they've lost 3 games, but all 3 of their losses are to Oklahoma. They were undefeated going into that series. So I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it's going to be a battle, especially during the softball season. Because I don't really. Yeah, also, I think Arkansas is also back to being relevant in softball again after a year or 2 off.
Mm.
So I think they've only lost like what is it, like a game or 2 also. So
Yeah.
I don't know what our entire schedule is, but
Right.
it'll probably be a long season.
Right. We'll see. What's going on, Amada? Good to see you as well. All right, then. Well, let's swing on over to baseball real quick. Swing over to baseball. Real funny. All right. Anyway, so sky's blue. Turns out sky's blue. We ended up winning another series, this time against St. Bonaventure, and it was a dominating performance. 12-0, 11-1, 13-2. Tennessee destroys that team, manhandles them, takes care of business. And we got some stats for you, which I think are pretty fun. So, Grand Slams. Tennessee knows all about them, turns out. So, 7 Grand Slams is the number in their first 12 games. 7. They hit 7 Grand Slams. And they achieved 3 of those in one single game against Radford. And this is the first in program history. So, yeah, this is a big deal. That's a big deal. And then on top of that, on March 8th, so the second game of the series, I believe, or the third, Liam Doyle, along with 4 other players, combined for Tennessee's first no-hitter since 2002. So, good stuff there. Good stuff.
Yeah. Also, we did get that 1 Grand Slam in the St. Bonaventure series, so we have 8.
Yeah, spectacular.
So,
Well, just more domination overall from what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ain't the record for like most Grand Slams in a season like ain't it like 14 or 15? It's something like that.
Something
it's
like
14. It's 14. I think we tied it or almost tied it last year.
Well, man, it's 14. Well, dang, we're already over halfway there, and it feels like we just started the season.
Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through the season, and Tennessee's already halfway there. If they don't break that record, I'll be stunned. But we are getting in an SEC play soon, so we'll find out.
So
Yeah.
what I find, so I want to address this because about the football, not football, but baseball team and the small park thing. What I find funny about that, if you go back to the first season under Vitello, I think if I remember correctly, we hit 56 home runs, and I think we hit, I think it was 56 home runs the entire season, and we hit 56 home runs in I think 14 games. So I think it's just recruiting, guys. I just think it's
Could be.
Could
I
be.
don't know. As some of these, LSU and Arkansas fans, they're blaming it on the juice, but
But
you never
wings, though.
yeah, those 7 natty squeaks.
But the wings, though. Yeah, the wings. Well, another successful week for the baseball team, but it's about to get real interesting. After we face asymmetrical Burger King East, we get into SEC play where we'll be playing the Florida Gators to start out. So this is how we're really going to find out whether or not this team is frauds or if they really are the real deal. That's where we're going to figure it out. So that Florida series is very important for both of those teams, especially Tennessee. So we're going to see how it pans out very, very soon. I'm looking forward to seeing it go down.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a hard series, but I think we should win it. I don't know if we'll sweep them, though. But I don't know. We've just been looking like the better team. I mean, we're undefeated. And Florida, they lost to UCF. I mean, I know UCF has a pretty solid ball team this year, but still, I just think we're the better team. We should win that series somewhat handily.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
but yeah, even if we win, it wouldn't count because what a week Pac and those 7 natties. So yeah, it won't count.
In the Hyperseed in the chat, he can explain that.
Yeah, what a week Pac. Don't Mickey Mouse. What a week Pac.
Dang. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and move on, shall we? We got to talk about the Lady Vols next, which unfortunately probably had the hardest week of the entirety of all of our sports teams. So they went to the SEC tournament, and as we know, that is never an easy go-around for any Tennessee team. But they entered the tournament as a number 9 seed, and in the first round, absolutely destroyed Texas A&M. 77-37, just absolute domination on that front. But unfortunately, they could not continue the momentum against Vanderbilt, and thus they were eliminated from the tournament. Despite their strong performance in the opening round, unfortunately, they came up short in the end, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. It's the first time that Vandy has beat Tennessee twice in the same season in ladies basketball, so very, very tough go around there. But not a bad season overall for Kim Caldwell. Obviously, we'll get to see what this team is capable of in the tournament, so we'll see how that goes in the future. But oops, almost knocked off my headphones. But yeah, he's right. Yo, man, go fire his ass. We got fire now. Fire his ass.
We want change. We want change. We want change.
Is Don Staley still on the market? And then let's go get Don Staley. You mean these people? You can never satisfy them.
Send Don Staley the Brinks truck.
Yeah. We got all the money in the world, Squidtard. We can get anybody we want to. We can get anybody up here in Knoxville if we give them enough money. Give them enough money, they'll come down to Knoxville. Okay, you get the idea. She ain't coming to Knoxville. You get the idea. But so anyway, speaking of South Carolina, while we're on that topic, guess what? They won the SEC tournament. Wow. And they beat Texas in the final. And they were actually, they had the number 2 ranking. Something tells me that might change.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how the tournament goes. We've still got time until then. Julio, you go ahead. I know you wanted to speak. Julio? You there? Julio? No. Anyone home? Uh-oh.
Hello?
Uh-oh. Yep. He done went beat boot. Tough.
Oh well.
He done went like Nebraska in this decade and done ran away.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I guess all I got to say about the women's team, it sucks. They're getting cold, and they are getting cold at the wrong time. Yeah, I know they beat A&M, but let's be honest. I mean, A&M was like one of the worst teams in the SEC this year in women's basketball. They were not good. I mean, I know we almost beat Vanderbilt. We lost to them, but Vanderbilt's usually a pretty good team now because they got a good coach.
Right.
So it's not an embarrassing loss.
Not
I mean,
too embarrassing at least.
Yeah, we'll probably not be able to host a regional now.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, like
Jay Shipes is in the chat. He says, "Squidtard, how in the hell did this come up with my recommendations? Your recommendations, they sound like smart individuals. That's what I think. Were you at the Slobs, by the way, Jay? I didn't see you there. At least from Ballard's coverage. That's the only thing that I've seen so far. Anyway, here's Julio.
Thank
All
God.
right,
he's
can y'all
back.
hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the internet or my headphones. Uh, I don't think I was going to say anything about the women's tournament. Then other shocker, South Carolina won. Who would have thought? Oh my God.
Right. You didn't go to the slobs? Well, yeah, I only saw there were like 12 people there. Or not 12 people total, but there were 12 participants. So, 2026, I'm going to run it back. Get another top 10 finish. We'll see how that goes.
Swab Olympics falling off.
No, it ain't falling off. It's just the way finances go. People don't have. See, let me explain this for the people who don't understand. So this is the Slob Olympics. It's run by Uncle Lou and Pigskin Pete, two fellow college football YouTubers I know. But this year, every single year they choose a different location for everybody to come together, all the sports community to come together, and they do like these fun little events. Well, this year, instead of rather doing it in a specific location, rather what they did is they went on a cruise in the Bahamas, and I couldn't go because of scheduling issues and finances, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people kind of felt that same way. And what I expect now is that it's going to return to how it's been the 4 years before that, and they're going to go to a different location. But it's going to be my luck. It's going to be my luck that the place that's going to be chosen is going to be like, let's go down to Oregon. We're going to go to Oregon. We're going to go in the middle of Oregon for the next Slob Olympics. Have fun traveling all the way across the country to do that. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Bro, what if they decide to have the Swab Olympics in Vermont?
Yeah, Vermont. Well, it's a hell of a lot closer here than Oregon, so even if it is probably well over 12 hours, it's at least
they decide to have the Swab Olympics in Hawaii.
That wouldn't surprise me. Not this year, but some year in the future, I could definitely see that. I'm thinking South Florida or maybe even the Keys. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, we went to South Carolina last year, Myrtle Beach. Then the year before that was Isle of Palms. Before that it was Pigeon Forge, and then it's probably going to take us back to Georgia, and that would not bother me because Georgia's about the closest thing other than Knoxville of places that we could go, unless we decide to host one in Nashville. So we'll leave it to them to figure it out. We'll count down the days until then. All right then, we got to move on here. So hell, they're probably going to throw us in Cherokee, Jay. They're gonna put us in Cherokee. Watch, because Lou and Pete need to gamble again. Yeah. It's been 12 hours without them gambling. They got to go and gamble again. They're missing it real hard. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and move on to men's basketball, shall we? Because we have a lot to discuss there. First of all, of course, as Tennessee does, they let us down. We said last week that hopefully they'll win the last 2 games on their schedule, and guess what? They didn't. They did not. They went out and lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah, lost on a buzzer beater to friggin' Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss is a good team, and they're a tournament team, but it pisses me off. Like, you had the 1 seed was right there. Yeah. It was right there.
Well, it wasn't a buzzer beater. It was a missed layup that screwed us in the end, but same difference, really, is what it feels like.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, the 1 seed was right there in front of us. It makes me so upset. I mean, what really screwed us is getting swept by that freaking awful Kentucky team. That's what really killed us.
Well, in a twist of fate, as it goes, the defense was the one to let us down this time. Our offense was actually performing pretty well out there, but the defense, of course, decided that today would be the day where they just let some random Ole Miss team come up and run back and forth across the court and shoot threes like it's nobody's business. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to settle for another 2 seed.
I think we could get the 1 seed if we win the tournament, couldn't we? Because, I mean...
No.
Very doubtful.
Yeah, even if we win the tournament, they'll pretty much already have the tournament bracket already made. So Yeah,
Well,
I
the
don't.
reason I was thinking maybe we could get the 1 seed if we win the tournament was that there's really not much separating some of the teams. Like, for example, I know Auburn had only 2 losses, but now they have 4. And I mean Tennessee, we have 6, don't we?
Yeah,
Mhm.
And I mean, really, other than those 2 Kentucky losses, I mean, the other losses are to one to Auburn, one to Florida. Uh, who was the other losses? Ole Miss, and then there was someone
Yeah.
else.
I mean, point is, like, we probably shouldn't even bother with it because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all speculation, and we could sit here all night and speculate who's going where. Pretty much all we got to do is wait and see and find out.
yeah,
You know.
but I doubt even if we win the SEC tournament, they probably won't put us as a 1 seed. Because remember, last time we won the SEC tournament, I thought that would have moved us up to a 2 seed, but it kept us as a 3 behind Duke, which was ridiculous. We had a way better resume than that Duke team.
It is what it is at the end of the day. All we got to do is go out there and actually play like we deserved the 1 seed. And
What's crazy? I remember seeing a stat. Sorry to interrupt. Was that I think 13 SEC teams have more ranked wins than Duke this year?
Yeah, because Duke plays in a Charmin Soft
well,
conference.
15 of those SEC teams are probably going to the freaking tournament. So
Yeah, I mean, like literally, look at the ACC on how bad it is. Like, who's the second best team in that conference? Louisville
hilarious.
is Louisville.
Even in the sport that they thought they owned, tank conference is still tank conference.
Yeah, like Louisville is literally the second best team in that conference. Or I guess Clemson. You could argue either Louisville or Clemson.
And how good are they?
I mean, I know both Louisville and Clemson are ranked. I know the final AP came out today. Let me look at it really quick. It only take me like 2
I was just
seconds.
gonna say if you knew their record, kind of a basis.
Oh yeah, here we go. Clemson is in the top 10. They're 26-5, and then Louisville is ranked 13th. They're 25-6.
Yeah. Well, I guess it can never be the SEC because the SEC is just loaded across the board. So that definitely does squander the ACC's potential of getting anywhere near a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Literally the only team that's like god awful in the SEC in basketball, men's basketball, is South Carolina.
Andrew says, just be glad Tennessee will make the NCAA tournament. As a South Carolina fan, I would do anything to be in the shoes of a Tennessee men's basketball fan right now. Yeah, well, it turns out when you do a blood sacrifice for your women's basketball team, your men's basketball team turns into whatever manifestation South Carolina's has turned into. So you take the good with the bad. Can't have them both. That's
I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
I don't.
at least South Carolina has a Final Four. One of Tennessee's best all-time teams lost to Wichita State, and not even like a good Wichita State team. It was before they got really good.
Yeah, but I mean, back to what Andrew said. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're going to the NCAA tournament, and this Tennessee team, has a chance to make some noise in the tournament. But I don't know. We've just gotten so good. We feel like we should get more success. I mean, we've gotten to the point where we've reached like a certain point of success. We just want more.
Well,
Why, man? Why? My day is now ruined.
5-1.
My day is now ruined.
what I was gonna say though is that it really the only thing we really need is we just need a Final Four. Really, that's all we need.
I want a national championship, Julio. I
I
don't
mean,
want a Final Four.
I mean, I want a national championship too, but I want to get a Final Four first because I mean, you have to get to a Final Four for a national championship.
Yeah, and if you want a Final Four for the sole reason that Kentucky fans will shut up, I promise you that that's not going to work. We could win the national title, and it's just going to be, oh, yeah? Well, where's your back-to-back national title? You can't win. We all know it. So, there's got to, I mean, you just got to wait and hope for the best. That's the way it is at the end of the night, so we'll see how it pans out. So a few awards, though, before we finish out here. We do have a few awards to list off, specifically player achievements, starting out with our boy Sakai Ziegler. Of course, that win against South Carolina 75-65, that was our last game of the regular season, capping off a third 25-win regular season in program history. So a good season overall for sure. Chaz Lanier had a really good game with 23 points, including 20 in the second half. So, yeah, no, we came out and struggled in the first half, but we still won the game, which is very, very good for us, obviously. But, yeah, anyway, back to Sakai Ziegler. This guy, senior guard, was named SEC Defensive Player of the Year for the second consecutive season and earned a first-team All-SEC honors. So, shout out to Sakai Ziegler. A really, really, really good season for him. Jemai Meshack, he received the Field of 68 National Defensive Player of the Year award, marking the first time a Tennessee player has earned this national defensive recognition. As for Chaz Lanier, he was selected by the All-SEC second team, contributing significantly to Tennessee's successful season, which is the truth. He was one of our highest leading scorers. And then finally, here on March 14th, this is the what you need to know about where Tennessee is placed in the bracket. We're scheduled to begin postseason play in the SEC Tournament quarterfinals at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time in Nashville's Bridgestone Arena. And our opponent will either be Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, or Texas. Texas or Vanderbilt is going to be moving on tomorrow or next, or I think it's on the 12th. Do they play on the 12th? Yeah, they play on the 12th.
I don't know.
Somewhere around that range. Point still stands at the end of the day. Here's Jimmy, Joe, Jim, Bob. What's going on, buddy? And then Nate the Great is also here. Good to see you guys as well. Here, I'm going to pull up the tournament bracket so you guys can see it.
All right. Are we allowed to make predictions?
I don't care.
All right. Yay.
So I'll pull up the graphic in just a second as soon as I get it up on the screen. Don't you love it when you look up the 2025 SEC tournament bracket and it brings up a different bracket from a different year? You really gotta love the internet.
Yeah. Well, let me guess. Did it pull up the 2015 bracket?
Something like that. It's so far in the past that you can see when Nebraska was good. All right. I've got it.
Dang. Nebraska catching strays from Squidtard.
Well, that's a lie. Nebraska's
Dude,
never
their
won an NCAA tournament game in basketball.
Their fans have gone completely off the rails because of my video about them. I mean, they've whatever sense of sanity Nebraska fans had before that video is now out the window. I mean, they have completely lost their minds, and it's kind of funny. Obviously, I get a kick out of it, but I mean, but they have completely gone ballistic.
Did you hear what I said, Squid?
What'd you say?
I said that's a lie. Nebraska's never been relevant in men's basketball. They've
No,
never
I'm talking
won it.
about football, but
Oh.
yeah.
Dude, Nebraska's not relevant in anything. Like
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, no, they're catching all.
I mean, volleyball, I guess, but
Hey, they did beat us in softball, so I mean, can't talk about them in softball.
Well, anyway, here's the tournament bracket. So for game one, we have South Carolina versus Arkansas. Winner of that plays Ole Miss in the second round, and then the quarterfinals. Winner of that game plays Auburn. And then game number two, Texas versus Vanderbilt. Winner of that plays A&M. Then in game 10, winner of that game, they play Tennessee. For game 3, LSU versus Mississippi State. Winner of that plays 7-seed Missouri. And then for game 11, they play 2-seed Florida. And then game 4, Oklahoma versus Georgia. And then the winner of that goes on to play Kentucky. And the winner of that game, they go on to play 3rd-seed Alabama. So stacked tournament, as you can see. I mean, we've got 13-something tournament teams here in this tournament. So NCAA tournament teams is what I meant to say. So yeah, this is going to be tough. So yeah, whatever predictions you guys want to make, go right ahead. I'm not opening that can of worms from my own perspective, but.
All right. First off, sorry. I was just going to say, first off, before we start predictions, the SEC needs to do like the Big East and decrease the amount of teams that make the tournament. This is absolutely ridiculous, bro. At least in my opinion.
Now, are you just saying that because we can't win it, or are you saying that just, because you want to see less games?
I'm just saying it's too many teams. Like 16 seed South Carolina, who has a winning record. Do we really want to see them come out and win the SEC tournament and make the NCAA tournament? I know Andrew does, but
well, they're not.
Like we need to like decrease the amount of teams so like every team doesn't make it. Like you could literally go winless in your conference games, and you could still make the conference tournament and make the NCAA tournament. Like that's stupid. At least I think it is.
Well, I think it's fun because it gives those teams who aren't going to be in the tournament a chance to finish out their season with a bang. But it's not going to happen anyway. There's no way on the Lord's feasible earth that even if South Carolina somehow mouses their way past Arkansas and Ole Miss, that they're going to beat Auburn. It's just not happening. But, yeah, that's all there is to say.
What are you talking about? South Carolina is the clear favorite here.
Yeah, I mean, clear favorite to lose first round, that's for sure.
South Carolina playoff team, sure.
All right, but by the way, I guess we can go ahead and get started with predictions. You can go first, Julio.
Yeah, okay, okay. Jokes aside, I'm sorry, Andrew, but Arkansas is probably gonna beat South Carolina. So let's move. So let's make it Arkansas Ole Miss. I think I'd probably take Ole Miss. In that one, I feel like it's a pretty close game, but I would take Ole Miss, and then let's see, then that'd be Ole Miss Auburn. Auburn, I would take them in that. So then that puts Auburn down on that one side. Texas Vanderbilt. I don't know. This is a weird one. I don't really know much about either team. But I think I'm just gonna take Vandy. And then let's see, Vandy A&M. I think I'll take Wade Taylor. I think it'll be A&M Tennessee. And then I think Tennessee will win. So I think it'll be Auburn Tennessee. And on that side, let's see. Dang it, keeps on going back and forth. Then I'll take Mississippi State over LSU, and then Missouri over Mississippi State, and then Florida, and then Missouri. God, I know this sounds crazy, but I think Mizzou upsets Florida because I feel like there's one team that's gonna be upset, and I hope it's Florida.
I mean, it could happen. Missouri's a good team.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take that. More than likely, it could be Tennessee because we are the 4th seed, but I want it to be Florida, so we're rolling with that. So Mizzou, you're going into the semifinal. Let's see, Oklahoma, Georgia. Give me Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma's not that good, but I don't like Georgia, so. And then I think Kentucky's better. And that's Kentucky, Alabama. And then I think Alabama. And then so do what be Alabama, Mizzou. So I'll take Mizzou. I think Mizzou makes the championship, and then I think it's Auburn, Mizzou. So I think we lose to Auburn. And then I think Auburn more likely wins it.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, that was something. That was
Sorry.
something.
All right.
Sorry, I was going real. I know. I was going real deep into it. I don't know why. But.
All right. I guess I'll do my predictions really quick. I'll try to make them as quick as possible, and I'll just start with the first round game, so to not confuse anybody. Starting with South Carolina versus Arkansas. South Carolina, literally the worst team in the SEC. Texas versus Vanderbilt. That could go either way, but I think Vanderbilt's actually been looking like the better team as of late, so I'll take Vanderbilt there. LSU versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State, they should win that game. They are the better team. LSU, literally the second worst team in the SEC behind South Carolina. So, yeah, Mississippi State should win that one. And then Oklahoma versus Georgia. This is another toss-up. Oklahoma, they've been getting so close as of late to getting these big wins, but they just can't pull it out. Georgia, they're on both of these teams, I'm pretty sure, are on the bubble. So both teams need to win this game. And I've been more impressed with Georgia as of late than Oklahoma, so I'll take Georgia in that one. So that puts it Arkansas versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss has been looking like the better team. Jeremiah Brakefield, he's one of the best players in the SEC. He'll probably just stomp a mud hole in that Arkansas team. And then Vanderbilt versus A&M. This could be an upset right here. Vanderbilt's been playing decent as of late, and A&M, they've actually been getting into kind of a slump. You know what? Yeah, screw Goob. Give me Vanderbilt. And then Mississippi State versus Missouri. Give me Missouri in that one. And then Georgia versus Kentucky. I'd probably take Kentucky in that game. And then Auburn versus Ole Miss. All right, I got to take an upset here somewhere, and I'm probably going to do it. Not right now. I'm taking Auburn over Ole Miss. And then Tennessee over against Vanderbilt. Every single time these two teams have played, it's been a close game. Vanderbilt had us in Knoxville, but then, of course, Tennessee came back and won. I don't know. I feel like Tennessee right now, I feel like we're playing, even though we lost to Ole Miss, I feel like we are still playing some pretty good basketball at the right time. So I'm going to take Tennessee over Vanderbilt. And then Florida versus Missouri. Missouri, to me, they have not been looking that great as of late, whereas Florida's been looking pretty dang good. So yeah, I'll take Florida. And then Kentucky versus Alabama. You know what? No, I changed my pick. I'll take Missouri over Florida because I feel like one of those teams has got to lose. So I'll take Missouri over Florida, and then Alabama will beat Kentucky. And then Auburn versus Tennessee. I think Tennessee gets revenge over what happened, the screw job in the jungle. I think Tennessee gets revenge on Auburn and beats them. And then Alabama versus Missouri. Give me Alabama. So that sets up the championship game to be Tennessee versus Alabama. And then, you know what, screw it. Give me Tennessee to win the whole thing. Screw it.
Now, how did I know that was going to turn out the way it did? How did I
had the most random matchup of all time, I think. Auburn, Mizzou.
Perhaps. You might be onto something there. In conclusion, there you go.
Oh, speaking of Missouri, how about them having the best athletic department in the SEC, losing a series to Binghamton?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, who doesn't do that from time to time?
Goob says you do that and you get upset by Vandy. What?
You said because you picked Vandy to be A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah, womp womp, Goob.
All right, then. Well, I believe that is all the time we have for tonight. If anybody's got any other lasting comments before we go ahead and turn this thingamabobber off, then by all means, go ahead and let me know. Yo, man, Connor says I hate Nebraska more than UGA. That's a weird hate to have. Lamont Paris is 3-0 against John Calipari. That's a something right there. Even if South Carolina wins, they aren't going anywhere in this tournament. Probably not. A big time fall off for them.
South Carolina is gonna make a Cinderella run and win the tournament.
They're going to win the SEC tournament, and then they're going to win the national championship.
Yeah, of course. Now, who doesn't do that?
Yeah.
Alrighty then, guys. Well, I know we still got 9 minutes left to go, but we've talked about all the things we need to talk about. And my Hangout stream is over on Saturday, which it plays. Of course, I'm going to make it a big one since I was not able to stream at all last week. So this time, I do plan to make it a big streaming week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be live streaming Tartaria Tuesdays. I'll be playing probably Sonic Shadow Generations, probably. So I said probably twice, but the probability is up there. So stick around, and hopefully you'll see me over on the main channel, Tartaria Tuesdays, 8 o'clock, same as this stream. And then on Saturday, as you guys already know, we'll be doing the Dynasty stream. But instead of starting at 7 o'clock, I'll be starting it at 6. I'll be starting that stream at 6 o'clock. So you guys stay tuned for that. Appreciate all of you guys for watching. Julio and Lucas, you guys tell us your parting words.
All right. I guess go Vols, tighten up. And yeah, I mean, let's get ready for March. March Madness right around the corner, and get ready for April. The NFL draft is coming up. And yeah. And also May, I guess, because Friday Night SmackDown is coming to Knoxville again. So gonna try to go to that.
Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah. So I guess just go Vols. Hopefully we make win the championship, the SEC championship tournament, the SEC tournament. But I think that's really about it. Hopefully we also start off the SEC baseball season good.
Said set off the ice cream truck. All right then, guys. Appreciate all of you guys for watching. You're all great people. Love each and every one of you. You'll see you guys tomorrow on Tartaria Tuesdays over on the main channel, Squidtard, which, by the way, this is a first. This has never happened before, but it's looking like in this coming week, probably by next week, Squidtard Sports is going to surpass Squidtard. So if you want to see that change, subscribe to this channel, or if you want to see Squidtard continue to be the premium channel, then go ahead and sub up to there. And then meanwhile, we have him over there as sub to neither because he's too busy doing this.
Oh, I was saying that Squidtard Sports needs to pass Squidtard. You post more on your sports channel than your main channel anyway.
That's going to change too. I'm going to try and post weekly on both channels, but I appreciate your support. I take back what I said just a minute ago. All right, appreciate all of you guys for being here. As always, power to Tartaria, and of course, go Vols, and let's go win the hell out of that tournament.
Texans have 0 divisional